is that you went through from the moment you received it till the moment it ended, what you guys spoke, all of that. Hello, welcome back.
Good. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you
Uh,
doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. And how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And I see that you're back again, and this is good to know, right? Are
Yeah,
you ready
sure.
to work on your intonation?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So, which emotion do you want to work with? Which do you think is the worst that you have a problem with?
Happiness and excitement.
Okay, fine. Happiness and excitement makes sense. Can you think of any scenario where you can do this, or do you want me to come up with one?
Mm, you should think.
I should think of a scenario. Okay, I've already tried with the scenario where you got your job, but that didn't work out well. So I'll have to think of something else. Do you have a celebrity that you like to see?
Yeah, sure.
Who?
All the cricketers and singers as well,
All cricketers and singers, Indian or
especially the
international?
late 90s era. Sachin Tendulkar, Saurabh Ganguly, and
Okay,
Kumar Sanu, Udit Narayan, Sonu Nigam, Alka Yagnik, all of them.
fine, great, interesting. Okay, Raj, you just received an invitation to meet Sachin Tendulkar and Sonu Nigam,
Okay.
and you get to meet them personally. And it is, think of it as a coffee get together. They're meeting and they reach out for this one fan of theirs who wants to connect with them, who wants to ask them questions. It can be anything, right?
Yeah, right.
This is going to be the first time that this has ever happened. And there were like over 50,000 people who applied for this post to be the fan who wanted to meet them, one on one meeting
Okay.
with them. And you got through,
Yeah.
right? Oh God, this is still the face that you have. I'm thinking about that and I'm having fun, but you have already managed to disappoint me. But anyways, I'm going to imagine that you will
Okay.
start. Yeah, good. Keep this one up, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
along with this, you're going to tell me how it is like the moment you receive it. How it is that you're going to show. How are you going to express yourself? What do you think throughout the day, the conversations you end up having with them, and how you feel after that. You should keep up your level of excitement throughout. You should modulate your
Okay.
voice in that way.
Um,
Use the right words.
I mean, I have to explain to my friend about the
Yeah,
meeting or before the meeting that I have
no,
got the invitation.
look, you got the invitation,
Yeah.
you're going to get that message, and then it is going to happen in like maybe 1 or 2 hours, right? So you have to get ready for that. You are going, you go them, you see them, you meet them, you have that entire conversation, and then you come back and you're telling your best friend that this has happened. Your best friend happens to understand only English, right? So you
Okay.
have to show it in your voice through all of that, and your best friend can't see, your best friend is blind, so I can't see you,
Okay.
I can only hear
Okay.
you. And whilst I'm hearing, I have to imagine what it is that you went through from the moment you received it till the moment it ended, what you guys spoke, all of that. You're up?
Yeah. Sure.
Great. Go ahead.
Mm. Hey, Lali, how are you?
I'm
Do
doing
you
great.
know?
Why? You seem happy.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I can tell you that I have spent one of my finest day of my life.
Oh, tell me what happened.
Actually, I got the invitation to meet my favorite Tendulkar and Sonu Nigam in the same show. You know,
How did
I
that
mean,
happen?
I don't know how did I get selected. I mean, so many had applied for that opportunity, and luckily I got selected. I mean,
Wow, you must
only
be on top of
yesterday
the
I
world.
got the message, and after I got the message, I was I was so excited, so speechless. I couldn't tell anybody. All I was thinking that what would I say? What would I ask to them? And
Mm-hmm.
it took me whole night to prepare the questions that I could have asked to them.
Okay.
I was so clueless that what should and excited at the same time. And
Right.
and when it I'm in the early morning, I was after waking up, I almost did not sleep. I slept only for half an hour maybe. And after I woke up, I felt like, okay, I don't have to be late. I have to be there in time. So I was thinking that. And finally I did not get stuck in traffic and all that. I did make it in time. So yeah. And after that, I was so excited. When I met them again, I got speechless. I was unable to speak anything. But then they were so polite and as polite as you can think, as they are shown. Especially if I talk about Sachin Tendulkar. Generally, people say that never meet your heroes because you can get disappointed because the way they look on screen and off screen they are different. But no, they were just the same as they can be seen uh, while they are interviewed. So it was such a lovely moment for me, and I cannot tell you how happy I am. And the way I talked to Sachin Tendulkar, the way he answered all the question, and the way he encouraged me while I was getting nervous to asking questions to him, it was altogether a lifetime experience, of course.
Raj, you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It started off really in a really good manner. I have to say that. Somewhere down the line, it sounded like a speech that you're giving in school.
Okay.
So I kind of lost my smile too. Like I was really excited. Like, okay, you're going to do something different. Like you told
Yeah.
me you're always formal, right? Before
Obvious.
you're
Yes.
always formal. Like you're always serious,
Maybe. Yeah.
even in when you speak your mother tongue language.
Yeah. Almost.
Okay, maybe it is not something I can work on as a trainer, right? So
Okay.
I don't really know what to do with that. But some things I can definitely work on are, the use of idioms.
Yeah. Right.
Not one did I hear. Over the moon, full of joys of spring, dog with two tails. I could
Right.
paint the town red. Lot
Yeah.
of
Right.
things
Right.
that could
Of
have gone
course.
into that. Now, for those who are not able to convey it in words, and I think you're somebody who can, who have studied enough and more that you know that you can start using them. Like this is your 283rd session. I'm sure by now you must have gotten into the
Yeah. Of
whole,
course.
like,
Of course.
you can
Like
use
all the
idioms.
idioms that you say, I know all of them, but I didn't use any of.
Because that is what happens for people who follow the rules. Like you have come to understand, like when it comes to exams, I am sure you would have used all of this, right? If it was an exam where you had to sit and write. But in speaking tests, it so happens that it's not that you become blank. We are just not used to using that in real life,
Right.
right? So let's go back to the basics where we start having conversations with ourselves.
Yeah.
You told me that you do that, right?
Yes.
And you also take tuitions, or was it?
Yeah.
Right? So do you teach them that?
No. No. I all my students are pretty basic level, so
Okay.
I generally have reached up to that level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have
And
not reached till now.
you do teach English, right? I mean, I'm getting confused. It's not you teach English or
I mean,
like
I teach English grammar as well.
Right. So, is it possible that you start doing something fun with them? For example, now there was a time when I used to teach students that when I thought that they're not able to grasp the situation properly, I would make sure that I ask them to make a skit or do something fun, right? There you will have to tell them you're supposed to express this way, you're supposed to be angry, you're like, hey, that is not fair. And then someone who is really, funny and like, you think that's what I was doing, you will have to make, you'll have to train them, and indirectly you're training yourself.
Yeah, right.
Right now, I'm sure you know this by now, that just by knowing grammar rules, you will not be able to speak fluently.
Yeah, sure.
Right,
Hello.
so just focusing on
Yeah.
that will not help. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right. All right. So just random things, going back to the basics, will not always help. Few things here and there we'll have to try for ourselves. Start experimenting this. When you're with your kids, give them scenarios where they can experiment, and you give them ideas. And believe me, it'll be a lot more fun. And then when they
Yeah,
make
sure.
mistakes here and there, correct them then. Like I might not be doing that with you right now, but then that's cool. That we can grow over time. But I know for a fact you might have to work a lot more on your intonation than you have with anything else,
Yeah, right.
right? I'm sure if I gave you an angry role, something with bitterness or sadness or something of that sort, you'll be able to
Yeah,
depict that really well.
that's
I don't know why. I have a feeling
that's
you'll
why
be
I
able to do
didn't
that.
pick the sadness. I could have picked that, but I don't
Yeah,
want to go in my comfort.
yes. Which is what you did, a good thing there. You know that.
Yeah,
So I was happy that you did that. But we will have to do this a lot more. So now, not just here, but every time when you're outside, I definitely want to have a conversation with your friend, asking them how you are in real life. Because you might not be able to judge that for yourself. But if you are, a
yeah.
good job then. That means I'm going to call you angry young man from now on. You're not Raj anymore. Right? I mean, you do love, you have a sweet laugh, it's all nice.
Yeah,
But then why can't I see that in conversations? I don't know. Like maybe
yeah,
I am too dramatic or animated. I feel people can be that way, right? People can be the way where they express. For example,
right.
I tell my students this. I've also done this in real life where I did a blind cloth to myself. I tied myself with a blind cloth, and I asked somebody, express what you feel, and I will tell you what I understand.
Right.
And my students would go, this is the worst thing that ever happened to me. And I would be like, you are angry right now. And they'd be like, yes, ma'am, I am so sorry. That happens in between. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sorry about that, but are you able to
No,
hear
no,
me?
no problem. Yeah,
Okay, great. So that being said, try this thing again with your students if possible. And then there's somebody else who will go like, um, she did the best thing that she could ever do for me. I don't know what to feel. And I'm like, I'm confused. I don't know what that emotion is. And I'll ask them to do it again. Right? So when
yeah,
you are blind and you can only listen to somebody, believe me, it changes the entire perspective. And that's how we can work on our intonation a lot more.
all right.
Right? So is this possible, or do you think this is too much?
No, no. I mean, I was thinking about all this, and then suddenly uh, I thought about I mean, the cricketers like Ravindra Jadeja and Chiteshwar Pujara. I was thinking about their celebration. I mean,
Okay.
if you have ever seen Ravindra
Right.
Jadeja after reaching half century celebrates
Mm-hmm.
like playing short, and
Mm-hmm.
on the other side there is Chiteswar Pujara who just uh, picks off his bat and even after scoring a double century. So I was thinking
Right.
that this is the character of somebody.
True, true. That
I
is there.
of course. So even if I am unable to do something, it is okay. But if I can do, why not? If
Yeah.
I can try. So that's why I thought that is different thing. But if I am
Mhm.
looking forward to improving myself, I will have to think. So I
Yeah.
tried, and I'm eager to, and that's why I booked another session with you, and we are going
Sure,
to be
sure.
regular.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's cool. Like, I understand that there is a reason I told you. I wish I could talk to one of your friends just to understand the
Yeah,
fact whether this is how you are normally. If that is how you are, I honestly won't be able to help it because I know people like that in my own family. If the best thing happens, the only thing you can notice is a small twitch in their mouth that we are excited, we are happy, we are celebrating, doing all that, and they're like, that's it. I'm like, how can you do that? But that is there in their blood, and that is completely fine. I understand that. But then
right.
I know how they are in real life too, right?
Yeah,
These same people, when they go outside, when they're in a little bit more of a different comfort zone and apart from family, they become something else. And I have seen
right.
that too. So, for all you
Yeah, right,
know, you might be restricting yourself. You might be thinking, I don't want to show this person my colors like that, right? It could
right.
be that you are trying to, close yourself up. And that is fine.
Sometimes,
That,
like
no, no
I
judgment.
would
Yeah.
like to mention here. Sorry to interrupt. I
No,
would
it's
like
fine.
to mention the way I was explaining about my improvement earlier. I
Hmm.
think whatever I have improved, I could have improved in just 8 or 9 months as well. But it took me more than 16 months. And the
Right.
reason behind that is I was unable to get out of my comfort zone. I was not
Right.
able to open up. But the
Hmm.
moment I opened up with some tutors, and after that, I start speaking a little better. And now
Right.
this is another step that I have been given from you and from others as well. I I,
Right.
I have been being told about this intonation type. But
Hmm.
if I say one more thing here, that the one with whom I was from starting, they
Yeah.
feel that I'm doing great.
Right.
I have improved a lot. But from here onwards, I feel like I have to go a long way. And of course, that is there always. There is always
Yeah.
room for scope for improvement.
Improvement, right? Yeah, because I feel like I learn from my clients a lot too, because each
Yeah,
person is different, and I'm like, okay, with this person I can be like this, with this person I can't even dream about being like that. You start
right.
understanding things, and that is great. We learn and we understand, and we get to know, okay, with this person I am supposed to deal this way, even when you go outside, not just here in the virtual area.
Yeah, right.
So it is good. We are all learning. It's great to go, and I'm happy that you are learning too. And
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
that sums up today's day. Thank you. Have a
Yeah,
good rest of the day.
have a nice day. You too. See you in another session. Bye for
Yeah,
now.
sure.